before we begin, let's take a breath. Now imagine stepping into warm silence. No phones, no pressure, just you suspended in stillness. At Mind Over Matter practice in Victor Harbour, you'll find space to truly reset, whether it's in their float tank, a private infrared sauna, or a guided ice bath designed to bring you back into your body. Mention Trav when you book and receive 15% off of all treatments. Go to mindovermatterpractice.com.au. This is where the healing begins.
G'day legends and welcome to this week's episode of the Cold Exposure Hot Topics podcast. My guests today are Bart and David O'Reilly. How you going?
G'day guys, how are you going?
How are you? Excellent. Thanks for joining us today, guys, and a big thank you to Mind Over Matter Practice for sponsoring the show as always. Now, we're here to talk about a couple of different things. So, mental health is a big topic that we've discussed a fair bit. Bart, did you want to go first and talk a bit about your mental health journey?
Yeah, so I was struggling with mental health since I was a kid, and growing up through to high school, then into my adult life, I've been struggling. It's come like on and off, like a web and flow, like like when you're walking on the beach, and you can see it's like coming in and out like a waves.
Yeah.
And a few ways I have mediated my anxiety was like go for walks, do meditation and journaling eventually. And then I also started attending a gym class that my brother got me set up, which is Anytime Fitness. And then I did my own thing for a little while, doing my own classes, my own routines and sets. And then I thought to myself, why don't I try a class, like a free gym class that they do at Anytime Fitness? And that's where I eventually met David through in Paige's class.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
So that was, I think you said about 12 years ago, did you?
Yes.
That was 12 years
A long time ago.
Yeah, wow. So what about yourself in terms of your mental health journey, David? Where's that gone for you?
Well, my anxiety was always present. When I was younger, I had social anxiety disorder, and I used to see a psychologist quite regularly. And that stemmed from high school. So nearly all the way through, well, up until like year 12, year 11 and 12 was a real struggle for me. And I suffered really badly from social anxiety and a little bit of depression as well. And then years down the track, I worked at McDonald's up at Holden Hill. And then I worked there for a little while, and then I went to TAFE to do studies in multimedia. And then I found Anytime Fitness at Campbelltown. I eventually found that in 2012. And then I started, like, as Bart mentioned earlier, I started to do the free group classes.
Yeah.
And that's where I met Bart in that one of the instructors' classes, and that was Paige. And we've
from that point on,
formed a good friendship from there.
Yeah, we're really close now to the point where like we are brothers, truly brothers, like from other mothers.
Brothers from other mothers.
Similar to David, I used to see psychologists, and they gave me some good advice on how to cope with my anxiety and anger management at the time. And I was working as a gardener. I was really like, a bit sporadic, and I was just like all over the place. And I've been seeing a psychiatrist as well since I was very young, because I have Tourette's syndrome, global delay, because we're both on the spectrum as well.
Yeah, we are both on the spectrum.
Yeah. But we're just like any normal person, and we're very, accepting of people, and we just want to, make everyone feel warm and welcome as well, to be part of our journey as part of the group.
Yeah, and I think that's really important. Like, I wouldn't have picked up on that until you told me then. And, that's not to say that like people should be looking for it or it's a negative thing at all.
No.
We're all sort of present. They say we're all sort of present on that spectrum in some way, shape or form. So, I know what it was like when I was growing up, and how people still had that stigma if they were on the spectrum or had, anxiety, or especially when I was growing up, depression wasn't overly well known. So how did you guys navigate that in your earlier years?
Well, I basically just tried to find the building blocks as to where my depression was coming from, and quite often it would come back to my time at year 12. I was lonely, I was depressed, I didn't have very many friends, I was in a shell. I didn't open up to anybody. But then all of a sudden, when I finished high school, and I started working, and then going to the gym really helped coach me out of that and helped with my anxiety as well. And that was a massive thing for me. Like when I started to go to the gym, started lifting weights, that helped my confidence tenfold.
Yeah. Being able to do something for yourself and see those results and have that confidence stem from there.
Yeah.
What about yourself, Bart? What was it like growing up?
Growing up in primary, reception through primary school, when I was like in reception year 1, I was pretty much a bit of a loner, similar to David. But then as I went through primary school and into high school, I became a bit more socialized because I did some like occupational therapy and began to understand myself more. Similarly, like I used to be like at times I feel lonely because the anxiety does that to you, and sometimes like the introvert side of me comes and goes. Like I go into a shout into a group because like you feel drained after being in large crowds of people. But how I manage that is like I've mentioned, I go for walks, I go for, I do a lot of self critical thinking and feedback that I get from my peers and my family and friends at work now have really helped me to open up, especially with the group at Solis.
Yeah.
And over the years, like the gym has been also an integral part of my life because like because David and I, we came from a good circle of friends who we know very well. And a couple of years ago, how I met Daniel Lazus was through a PT trainer called Douglas Wilson. And we went with him down on a particular Sunday to the same area in Henley Beach. And he introduced us to Daniel, and he was fantastic at the time when he was still living in Adelaide. And he really opened up on a different perspective about, life in general, topics, and just making us feel at home and welcome. And it was, and I found like, the gym and Solis are like 2 integral key aspects, which are important to my life, as well as my friendships I maintain with my friends and family.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so important to have those external outlets and, those community, tribal almost type connections, isn't it? Like we are pack animals as human beings, and we're not meant to be alone, and it is easy to isolate sometimes.
That's right.
So you guys probably discovered Solis start of this year, late last
probably
year,
late last year. Late last year we discovered Solis. And,
I went before like so like 2023, I discovered it, and then I rediscovered it. So Dave and we have another friend of ours who's also attending it, Daniel Waters. You might have met him as well.
Yeah, I think so. That name rings a bell.
He used to go there like before his holiday, like every every Sunday, and
I know exactly.
He brought his dog with him
every month. With his dog. Yeah,
nice. And so, what has that community opened up for you guys then in terms of? I mean, we've talked a bit about the mental health outlet, but other aspects of life, like what has that sort of opened up for you?
I'd say learning, about acceptance, about equality, about like, the kindness of the group, like a family, like it's like a second family to me. That's what I see it as. And also like learning about like the importance of being ourselves and just like gradually opening up through the social interactions that we have with other people, through the exercises that Luke and Daniel that taught us, and then also doing the calls with Michael on the Zoom calls on Tuesday nights at 8:00 has really made me understand a lot of different key aspects, like like how to manage time management, how to be single, and how to form connections, as we did on Tuesday night just recently as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I did have some dot points in there for that presentation, but unfortunately I couldn't get there. But it is a really good community in that way. I think it holds everyone up in various ways. Like it's not just about the fitness component or anything like that, which can deter some people. But
indeed,
the fact that we have the Sundays, the calls, the ongoing support, the weekly workout programs as well, I think is really, really powerful. So you guys are foundation members, is that right?
We are foundation members. Yeah.
Fantastic.
And what I find with the Solis community is it's more to do with like the mind, balancing the mind, balancing the body, and balancing the spirit. And with the community, it's such a great group of like-minded people that are interested in fitness. They're interested in various different things like gaming and other hobbies, like sports, and it's a real welcoming community. They gather at Henley Beach at 8 a.m. on Sunday mornings. If it's not cold, they also do an ice bath every time as well. So
You inspired us to that, Trav.
Yeah, inspired us.
I need to get back into mine a bit. I haven't for a little while, but it's been a bit of a difficulty navigating when I can do that with Bubs, because by the time you've filled up the ice bath, he needs you. And
Well, a couple of times we were there, like I caught the COVID somehow, and then I caught the flu, which is a bit of a funny thing, because like the shivers, because it was going around just before winter started, and then they need to update the facilities there a bit, like the change rooms need to be a bit more open, because we sometimes can't get in there, and and they're just a bit like gross, like
they are. It'd be nice to see some changes there, but
if only.
That's the council for you.
And Trav introduced me to Bart and I to the ice baths, and they're really it gives you a shock factor the first time, the first moment you set foot in the portable ice bath. But as time goes on, as the 3 minutes that we get given goes on, you feel fantastic afterwards, and you feel invigorated.
And after you and learning the breathing techniques, which is also crucially important per you and Luke, which is really great and beneficial for us. We still do that a lot, like and every time I feel like I can describe it, Trav, as like every time like Dave or I get in, we go the sudden onset of the chilly water, like cold water, just like shocks your system. It's like a shock absorber. And then just slowly settling in, just like, and then practicing what we've practiced earlier before the ice bath, and then sitting there for 3 minutes. It's actually really good for your if you've got chronic pains in joints. I really do 100% back that fact. Really
100%. It's got so many different benefits, even with weight loss as well, like the burning of brown fat cells and stuff. But more than anything, I think it's that ability to put yourself into the controlled stress environment. So you're going in and it's going to be cold. There's no getting around that, and you can't control that. But what you can control is how your body reacts to it, and you do that through, like you say, the breath work, which says, okay, I'm calm, I'm in a safe spot, this is going to test me that that's okay. And then you get to about the halfway mark and you get that endorphin release. And that's that feel-good hormone where your body's like, actually, I'm really, really benefiting from this. And then I think it's always great when people jump out afterwards, especially in the summer. They get out of the cold, they run into the ocean. And it's like a
straight into the water.
It's like in the ocean, which is quite cold normally, feels like a sauna, basically.
Yeah, that's exactly how it feels like. It feels like you're in a steamer.
It does. The water's actually quite warm.
The way the warmth that when you get out and then you go into the ocean, as you described, Trevor, and you feel that warmth surge through your body. It's like you feel like you reinvented yourself, make you become
absolutely. And it's a great lead in as well to then going up to the cafe afterwards and having a bit of a feed. And I know you mentioned to me just before we started, actually, like you guys have started your own Instagram page where you're going to different restaurants or hiking trails or different things like that. Do you want to talk to me a bit about that?
So it was my brainchild. So then I shared it with David, and I asked him, would you like to become a part of which I call Instagram page, the BU Studios? And he was thrilled and excited about it because he's also got some.
I got some computer graphics experience, so I do the graphical side of things. So I make my own videos and splice. I then set the videos up and just sort of compress it down into a sizable format that can then be reproduced online on Instagram.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, and then because I'm the one I also did my size, or similar to David. Like it was all self-taught. So I used to go with a friend who taught me about filming. So I did some filming like as a hobby back in the day with him, and that's where I learned like photography, and then eventually like learning how to do film editing. And sometimes because it's got the AI function, which can also be very helpful, like to downsize the clips a bit, but you can also readjust it to the sound quality. You can add music in there, which is fantastic, and you can also voice your own clip as well, like your films. And then sometimes David sends me his, and I always make sure to tag and co-manage by @David.
Then he tags me.
Because unfortunately the cons to Instagram is like you have to make it as a business account in order to share it together, but it's a bit ridiculous. But we're fine with the system that we have to manage that. So I'll post them for him and I let David know that it's online. And you had one particular video you got almost over 200 views.
200 views, yeah.
Yeah, nice.
One of them.
A bit of a victory and a milestone for
Yeah,
you.
for sure. Yeah.
You got to start somewhere,
Gotta
that's for
start
sure.
somewhere, yeah.
And so is the page just mainly targeted at like promoting Adelaide and things like that, or?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is, yeah.
Yeah, for now. And then we might expand, maybe going travelling overseas to see like Scotland or anywhere else we can think of, maybe. Like the GAN.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
the GAN.
The GAN,
That'd be
yeah,
cool.
right around Australia.
Yeah.
And I think like there's a lot of interesting things like that for people who, you know, they see the price tag and it's like, oh, look, it's a fair bit of investment when you're not sure what you're going to get. So to be able to provide that insight would be very, very valuable for people for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we like to also show people like, you know, what Adelaide's best. It's because everyone says like we're a big country town, and it's just like, because, and you know, being born as locals ourselves, us, you know, Trav included, like everyone thinks it's boring, but it's not. It's like we've got festivals, we've got sports events, and we've got so much, and you know, there's a lot coming into Adelaide. Like when and I think we're considered one of the most livable cities in the world as of late.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Absolutely. There's so much to see and do here. Why don't you each share a couple of your favourite things to do in Adelaide?
For me, you want to go?
Oh, yeah, I'll go first. Oh, it's an easy one. Going to the footy. I love going to watch my side, the Adelaide Crows.
Oh yeah, they're going well this year.
They're going well this year. They're top of the ladder at the moment, so that's one of my favourite
Well, the
things.
grand final will have been played by the time this episode comes out, so hopefully you're there.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed they get the flag. But yeah, that's one of my favourite things to do. And the other, like one of my other favourite things to do is just to sample the food.
Yeah.
Try all the food and the restaurants and the cafe, and yeah, I won't lie, I like my burgers. So
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
He's got a
Bit of a
cinnamon.
burger connoisseur myself.
Oh, yeah?
So, yeah, I have this little. I think Bart will attest to this. I have this little deconstruction
A superpower.
method
I call
where
it.
I
Okay.
take the buns off the burgers and then just eat it. Because sometimes the reason I do that is because sometimes the burger is like too big to
Yeah, you get locked to it if you try
get
and
or if you try, yeah.
And it's got pickles in it, which you
Got
don't like
pickles.
as well.
Yeah, I'll say I don't.
That's what she's asking us every time we go to. But you also like second favourite foods like your schnitzel parmesan. That's like Cafe Brunei Brundle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one of my favourites as well.
Yeah, they're pretty big, like just that size. But the ones that we go to Cafe Setbacks just down here in Newton, they are humongous.
Oh, they're
yeah, I think there's a bit
it's
of a
about
competition
size of
around the
tape.
place lately of like who can do
Who
the
can
biggest
do the
schnitzel
big
and
ones.
get on the
Well,
schnitzel review
Yeah.
group positively and things like that.
I reckon like number one on the schnitzel is the Schnitzel House. Like they are like the king of schnitzel.
Is that the one in
you mean
Salisbury?
Schnitt House?
Yeah, the Schnitzel
Yeah,
House.
the one in
The city.
Rundle Mall.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Rundle Street.
Yeah.
Rundle
the
Street.
Schnitt House.
Schnitt
That's-
House.
You'd hope so. If you're going to name yourself that, you want to be good at it, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my favourite thing is like David, like going to the footy, watch the 2020 cricket, and like I'm sadly a Port supporter, but
Oh,
Yeah.
that's all right.
yeah, but I support the Crows as well because
Yeah.
I've actually, because when I was changing careers back in 2018, Trav, I used to be a gardener back years ago, and my support worker he used to work for, his name's Gavin, who was from Scotland, and Bart they're just an employment agency who help people like myself get into the workforce.
Yeah.
I used to go through TAFE in the State Transition Program, so they helped me like how to prepare your cover letter or your resume and how to prepare for the workforce. Like the mentality behind it was pretty good,
Yeah.
and getting qualifications what you need depending on where you go in life. Like for me, I like being in the outdoors at the time. I did about 5 or 6 years in the job, and unfortunately I got sacked because they changed managers for Program Property Services. If you might have heard of them, maybe not.
No, not me.
They're based here in Adelaide and the Northern Territory, from my understanding, and they're still around.
Yeah.
But for me, like that was the end of that, career path, and then I chose another one, which is working in the office. And I used to work here at the Campbelltown City Council. So I did the traineeship program. So Barkuma, the Campbelltown Council, Maxima, the employment agency, and Basin Highmarsh, they got together and set up a meeting, a disability committee, and I was the first one that they appointed me to try out. I was like the experimental subject, like the guinea pig.
Yeah.
And after they found that my traineeship was successful, they have now gone on to to promote this. I think 2 or 3 other people have done it since then.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
and I've got qualifications now in like Cert 3 in business admin, where I am now based in my company where I am now. Currently working in Stepney for an NDIS company called Disability Living.
Yeah, wow. Fantastic. So, what is your take on the NDIS side of things in terms of like overall support that they offer people of all kinds of abilities, and because
Yeah.
obviously yourself has been through the system a bit.
Yeah.
Have you done that as well, or?
I have, yeah, in part, yes.
Okay, yeah. So what's that sort of like?
I think it's the support that they give you. Like for me, I've got I'm currently working with I've got an occupational therapist who's helping me like how to relearn how to manage my finances, how to budget stuff, and then my next goal is now learning Italian because my family and I might be going overseas to Europe by cruising for a few 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that'd be good for the Instagram page as well.
Yeah, definitely.
for sure.
And also like how connections and relationships eventually, and dating. Settling down with the family, that's another thing I've got to relearn because I've had a bit of heartbreak a couple of years ago. Which was first time when I was doing like a second date in my life.
Okay.
Yeah, I was dating this girl who's from the gym. Dave knows her quite well. At the time, so and we know her cousin. We still keep in touch with him, Robert.
Yeah, Robert. That's one of our best friends.
He's our brother in arms, and he's been for both me and David through thick and thin. And
I used to go to high school with him, so I know him quite well. Yeah.
Small world.
Small world.
Isn't it? Adelaide is for sure.
Yeah, and then learning from the heartbreakers, since then, and then plus I had a seizure back in 2023. I was at my lowest point.
Yeah.
And taking my driver's license away, and I was at the time as well like I felt like my freedom was basically stripped away, and then like combined with like setback after setback, and then things just got from bad to worse. I was having the point of like having suicidal thoughts, like wanted to end my life, and then because I was because epilepsy is a very common thing in some people, with myself included. Because the last time I had a seizure was like it was a nocturnal seizure, they called it. So I was like feeling drained and tired, and I was overcommitted and burnt myself out to the point where I was like, oh my God, I can't do this busy routine anymore. So I had to, that seizure really woke me up. And then at the end of 2023, I finally got my driver's license back, and I finally have recovered to the point where I am now, and I'm in a better place than I've ever been. Just gotta learn to take it easy and just not rush into things like I used to do and overcommit.
Yeah, that's so powerful. Thank you for sharing that too, because it's not easy to talk about that sort of thing a lot. So, I tend to agree and resonate a bit there with the feel like you need to rush around and do everything all at once. So you're never doing enough sort of thing. And it can be really, really tough. And, sometimes it still gets me now where it's like, you wear so many different hats, and I've got to be here for this, I've got to be there for that. These people need me, this needs me, and all of that. So, it's good that you've got some management in place for yourself with that now to navigate that.
Yeah.
So what is your main, I suppose, I don't know if coping mechanism's the right word, but if you are stressed out or, things are starting to get to you a bit, like what's your go-to?
For me, it's walking and hiking, as again stated, and journaling and meditation. And I like to read a book when I'm out in nature. Sometimes I go to some chill out spots, like Dave and I go. We go to the Garden of Zen.
Yeah.
I got another little beautiful hangout spot that I show David. It's by a waterfall.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, and I sometimes take a look out and I just read and enjoy being out in nature, and and plus like I'm getting back into journaling has just been a really big part of like my routine, especially with Solis, because Michael and Daniel set me up. And I had a chat with them both and said, journaling's great. You get your feelings out on paper. And I'm also starting to take that electrolyte. Like, I've got some big Himalayan rock salt and mixing with some lemon water. That's my primitive electrolyte drink. And I find it's really energizing. I love it. I've been taking it for 3 days straight now, and I'm going to continue.
It's good.
It's good, yeah. And I also took some, I got some sodium hydration salts.
Recently. That's right.
You recommended it to me, Trav. So, that's really helped me out with my muscle recovery and my workouts as well. And I'll just echo what Bart said about nature and helping me out with my anxiety and my stress. And it's good to get outdoors and to sort of relax and unwind. I also I have a mother who's got cerebral palsy. On the weekends, on Sunday afternoon, I like to take her out to Largs Bay Jetty, Largs Bay Boardwalk, and I just go along the boardwalk and just start walking if the weather's quite good, and that helps to make me unwind and relax and just take it all in. The one thing I'll touch on as well is with the Solis community, they teach you quite well how to relax, how to unwind. they teach you with the box breathing. So you go through the four, I think it's the 4-8-6 method. So you breathe in for 4, hold it for about 6 or 8 seconds, and then let it out for another 6 seconds. And that's really helped improve, I think, myself and Bart's mental health as well.
Yeah, Dave and I have been supporting each other for because I introduced him to the hiking and canoe and he absolutely loves it.
Oh, I love it. It's fantastic. Yeah.
I've learned that being in nature, not only reconnects you with yourself, but also reconnects you with the earth itself, Mother Nature. It brings back in touch with the connection we've lost over millennia of time.
Yeah, it's so powerful, I think, because it's so easy, like we sort of touched on before, to get overwhelmed with everything that life demands of you. But
everyday life, at
the end of the day, what do we have that's constant? We have nature, we have ourselves, we have our family, we have our tribe. All of this other stuff doesn't always matter. In the heat of the moment, we feel like it's really important. I've got to get this done. I've got this deadline. But at the end of the day, you can't take all of that with you, can you?
No.
You've pushed hard, you've broken down, and now it's time to rebuild. At Mind Over Matter Practice in Victor Harbor, recovery isn't an afterthought, it's the whole point. Their treatments are designed to help you come back stronger, both mentally and physically. You'll find cold water immersion, float tank rest therapy, steam and infrared saunas, and mild hyperbaric oxygen sessions to repair the body, clean the mind, and reignite your drive. And don't forget, mention my name, Trav, when you book in and get 15% off of any treatment. This is where pain becomes power. Head to mindovermatterpractice.com.au and start your comeback today.
It's like my mentor, Gavin, who taught me really well before he left. He went to Ferris Care, another NDIS company. He taught me a lot of good sayings. And I'll touch base on a couple of them. So one of them, which is very funny, says, don't rush like a Russian. It's like you're trying to do like the Russian dances, and then you got to rush to do things in everyday life, and you got to face the problems head on without to prove a point. But what I found behind that meaning was you just got to step back and just take it as you go, baby steps. Just take it slowly, take your time. There's no rush. Everyone's at a different stage in life. They're in their own race to the finish line, and you just got to build yourself with the progress. And another I'll quote is he taught me is keep calm and be professional. Or be yourself, just to relax and just be supported by your friends and families, which is most important as well.
Well, I think it comes down to even just being present, being in the here.
Being in the here and now,
Not worrying about what's happened before, not worrying about what's going to be happening in the future.
Exactly.
There's only so many things that we can control, and we often stress about the things that we can't.
Exactly.
It's really important, and I think that's great that you guys have these different ways of bringing yourself back into that awareness, for sure.
And it's also about grounding yourself, making sure that you take the time out for yourself and make your self-care most importance.
Absolutely.
And also setting boundaries.
Exactly.
I've learned how to set boundaries between toxic people in my life that I no longer have contact with, but I think that's important to maintain your growth and your mental well-being.
100%.
That's something I can resonate with you, Dave, because last year I learned how to learn boundaries from. There was this one girl I met. She was from northern Myanmar. She used to come to Anytime Fitness at Green Acres for Pilates Tuesday nights and Sunday nights, and her name is Jenny. She really taught me one of the most life's important lessons, which is boundaries, because sometimes I can be a bit overwhelming and demanding, but which I'm not very good at. But now I am in control, because she's taught me if we're going to maintain this friendship, you've got to respect my boundaries. And that's something that I have understood now finally after so many years, which is just got to restrain myself and discipline and self-control.
Fantastic.
Also,
boundaries are so important for how we act, but also how we have other people interact with us too. And a lot of people look at boundaries as something to put in place when you don't want people around, but it's actually the opposite. It's actually, I want you to be in my life, but it has these are the parameters in which that's okay.
Indeed.
You know, so yeah.
It's like, you know, it's like you got some conditions to set for them. You know, if you're gonna, you know, if you want to be my friend, you're gonna have to respect, like, you know, some of my, because it depends on the person. Is they might have past traumas, they could have had, that they're just making sure just to not get themselves hurt. And then being cautious and protective of themselves too, which is fairly understandable.
Absolutely. We've all had different experiences in life that shape us one way or another, and, you know, we learn from those what we're willing to accept as people and what we're not willing to accept as people. And it doesn't always have to be a big confrontational thing when we set boundaries. It can just be, hey, you know, like, I really appreciate your friendship, but I just need some space in this respect, or, you know, like,
that's a good example.
It can be anything, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's really, really good that you touched on that, for sure.
And another thing I like to touch on is, like, you know, I think we both learned this. It's like, as I mentioned in our group chats, is feedback. Critical and non-critical. It helps you, because, like, people tell you, like, I find it's a really, like, my friends and family tell me, and my people, peers in my work tell me, it helps me my self-development to become a better person. And I find that it's really useful. It's one of the best life tools to offer you to have, because
get feedback from other people. To allow other people to voice their own opinions of you.
What can you do better to achieve? Just to retune
positive and negative.
I mean, we've all got, like I said, we've all got different experience, we've all got different strengths, and we've all got weaknesses. Coming to that awareness is a really good self-reflection exercise more than anything, and if it's delivered in the right way as well, I think that's a key. Like, it's got to be, you know, you don't want to just sit there and be a dick to someone for half an hour about all the things you don't like, you know. You've sort of got to, take them along the journey with you.
Exactly. And
exactly.
You know, friends come and go throughout life, and those true friends who stay with you, like Dave and myself.
Absolutely. No, it's great.
And we're going to continue supporting each other in the future, and see where life takes us. Because we did say, like, we keep saying we're going to go to to a remote pub in Scotland. It's like a 3-day hike.
It's like a 3-day hike, but the reward's worth the effort.
Because you get a nice beer at the end.
Exactly.
Well, it's on our bucket list.
We'll make it happen one day.
We've got so much to do. We're going to go to Japan, we're going to go to Scotland.
We got a massive bucket list.
Especially here in Australia.
There's so much to do here.
There's so much to do.
And David, I've inspired David because I've seen the Aurora Australis a few times.
Bart loves the Aurora Australis.
And I've shown him photos where I've been down to West Beach to Seaford, Hallett Cove down south, and you could see, because I found that, you know, you came with me to Seaford one night, but it was cloudy.
It was all cloudy. And,
we're hoping in the next coming week or so, I think on the 5th of September, you might get a chance of it, because I'm determined to get David out there, and I want him to experience it like I did.
Bart's seen it about 3 or 4 times, or 5 times, and I've lucked out, unfortunately. But
because you've got your parents, but you come first, dude. That's why
I
don't want to. And that's like going back to the boundaries. Like, I've got to make sure I respect his boundaries and make sure I don't go overboard with that.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, and communication makes that pretty easy, I think. You know, making sure you're open and honest, and that's what it's all about.
And I think that's why Solis, you know, got us into it. We got into Solis because Solis is, because we're like that rare example of a true friendship, and showing what, you know, Solis is trying to strive, like, to achieve and promote out there and strive for. And we're like one of the pillars.
Friendship.
Absolutely.
As Luke and Daniel Michael told me.
Yeah, for sure. No, and all the coaches, we certainly view you guys as that, 100%. Like, it's great to have you on board, and just hyping everyone up as well. That's been really noticed. We really appreciated it.
And we appreciate the feedback as well.
Yeah, you, Trevor, that's most importantly as well, man.
Of course, brother.
Yeah,
of course,
for sure.
Absolutely. I appreciate that.
Like David's very supportive of everybody, and he's very
I'm always encouraging, and Bart's always encouraging of everybody as well.
And everyone,
we just go like yin and yang.
Well, I think I logged into my Instagram yesterday, and like, I think there was about 12 different likes of all of my posts that you'd been through. So I was like, that's awesome. I appreciate that. That's great.
Love your content, mate.
I appreciate that a lot.
I
did want to ask as well, because you guys are so, like, I suppose, open with your mental health and like the disability stuff and everything like that. What would you say to people who are struggling in that way at the moment?
I'd say, like, you know, if you have the confidence to take the leap and get out of your comfort zone, give it a try, see how you go. If it's not meant for you, something, but just take your time and make sure to always be yourself around people who you trust and who you meet. Just always remember that they're there to support you, friends and family as well. And like, you know, just give it a go. A fair chance. Just give yourself a chance, give it a fair go and see where it'll take you.
Yeah, fantastic.
I would say that there is ability and disability. Like, don't let it get you down, and don't let anybody else tell you that you can't do it, because the fact of the matter is you can do it. And with my disability in particular, I have like receptive expressive language disorder, and I don't let anybody tell me otherwise. I mean, if you were a bystander, for instance, and you went past me, you probably wouldn't even realise that I had a disability. Like, that's the way I like to try and treat my disability. But notwithstanding that people that have disabilities, you know, shouldn't express themselves as such, but if you were to walk past me, you probably wouldn't even realise I had one. But I mean, if you got a disability, just give it a go. You know, don't let anybody say anything different. Try not to let anybody get you down or anxious or anything like that. Just give it a go.
Don't even think it.
Don't even think it. That's right.
I think that's so important. You know, I think people get in their own heads in that respect of, what is this person going to think? Am I going to be judged when I go out? And I think the truth is, like, the spotlight's never on us as much as we think it is. You know, like we tend to be our own harshest critic, and so we therefore think, all right, everyone's got me under a microscope. They're viewing everything I do. People are worried about themselves more.
I find that as well.
And it's like also in ourselves, like, you know, like you said, Trev, the self-criticism, like putting ourselves down for it, but we have potential to be better people. That's what I've learned recently, like, you know, learning from, you know, Michael, and learning from the art of connection of being single recently, and talking with you guys, and especially with David on the phone, like we're just bettering ourselves each day as we go along.
And we contact one another regularly, just about every second day. So we just discuss various things, and I think that art of connection, as Bart touched on, that's very important. Like, if you've got a family member or you've got a friend that you haven't spoken to in a long time, pick up the phone and give them a call, or just send a nice message to them. Say, hey, how you going? I haven't spoken to you in a while. Would you like to catch up? You know, just those important conversations are really. Sorry, I'll start again. Those conversations are really important to try and build and foster friendships.
And I think too, like, I saw a really fascinating perspective on this the other day. Like, I 100% agree, send the messages, make the call, do that sort of thing. But if you receive one of those calls or messages, do your best to respond as well. Because that person has taken the time, like, they've thought about you, you know, in some way, shape or form, whether it's even just sending you a meme or something like, hey, I thought you'd like this or something. Like, giving that person the time and the gratitude for that.
And you don't just want to fluff them off either. Like, if they've made the effort to contact you, I think it's within your best interest to try and make that connection with the other person that you haven't spoken to or seen for a long time.
That's something that as I can resonate with you and Trav. Like, I'm not much of a talker on Facebook Messenger, Instagram. Like, I used to be so close with a few people, but like David and our Anytime Fitness group at Solis, I still keep in touch with. Like, after we had that call from Tuesday night, I contacted my cousin, who's the same age as me, and she's married to someone. And I was just telling, you know, like Luke said, just make a list of people you want to, you know, you think you can contact and reach out to them. But with me, it's because I don't really talk as much, and that's something I have to definitely work on. Like, and you know, but they're reaching out to you, like you said. It's fantastic because they truly, genuinely care about you. But
and that's the thing. Like, that genuine connection is what gets us all through at the end of the day. You know, I think it's great to have those things that we do on our own and those things that we do to unwind, but you also need to come back to your community in a way, don't you? And it's important to have that foundation for sure. Awesome. So, before we do wrap up today, is there anything else that either of you want to share with the audience?
Just a little bit, like, tell a little bit about your best self.
Oh, my best self.
Do a bit of both.
Well, I find that it's like with all the activities that I do, like I do park runs, I do I do Anytime Fitness, I do the Solis community. I feel as though that's really helped me, as I touched on before, helped me come out of my shell and to help. And I think that growing on those aspects of your life, if you decide that you want to become more physically fit and more involved with your friendships and that, I think that's really important to try and build your own self-confidence and a better image of yourself. Like the way I attract friends is I try and be the most true version of myself that I can be. I don't try and be someone else that I'm not, and I think that's what we covered in the Art of Connection with the Solis community. The masking side of things,
the mask state,
the mask state. Like if you try and be that person that you're not, it's just not going to rub off too well. So I think the takeaway from that is to try and be the best version of yourself you can
be your authentic self.
Be your authentic self. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Like similar to David, like I've also joined David sometimes doing the park runs, mainly Anytime Fitness and Solis, and I've got my own routine, like going for walks, going to the gym sometimes. And Pilates is one of the best things.
Pilates. Yeah, that's what I was to touch on. Yeah.
And I'm very grateful to have everyone in my life, like you both, and like, you know, this, and I'm very encouraging and very supportive to people who I know very well, and sometimes they, like, I think they mentioned a couple of times when I was helping to run the boxing class I did once, that you make a good personal trainer.
You would, for sure.
Because somebody who I used to know, who I used to work with here at Camptown, my old manager, she described me as like a ray of sunshine. And that's everyone tells me.
You're
I think
very
that's accurate
supportive.
for sure.
Yeah, my bright, bubbly personality, and plus I'm a bit introverted too. But I'd say just, you know, with all this routines and all this stuff, you know, put in place, I'm very, you know, I would be where I am today if it wasn't for, like, you know, without David and my friends and family.
And I'll echo that sentiment as well. I wouldn't be where I am today without Bart or any of the Solis community, like you guys, yourself, Trav, and
100% do.
with Luke and Daniel and Michael as well, and everybody.
Luke too.
Yeah, I think I mentioned Luke before.
It's a really good community, and I think you guys have got a really, really good place in it. And I think, like, the echoing statements that I'm hearing here are a lot of, you know, not only give things a go, but give things a go in a community. You know, because that's the easiest way you're going to keep yourself motivated and enjoy things too. Like, inherently, it's hard to go to the gym unless you really want to go. But if you've got a community that you're going to see, like, that adds that element as well. And then in terms of the social aspect, like, say for example the boxing classes, like, you've already got something in common with everyone else there. You're all there to do boxing, so there's already that common ground. So I strongly do encourage anyone watching, like, if you are feeling very isolated, to find something you're interested in. There's always going to be a group around where you've at least got that starting point to talk to people about, and once you're in a community, it's the best thing you can be a part of, no matter what the community is. I mean, there's a few exceptions to negative communities around there, but we won't talk about them. But in general, most people have a good heart, and most people want to support you, and most people will have an interest in common with you somewhere along the line. So, I think that about does it for us today. Is there anything else you wanted to mention before we finish up?
Well, touching on what you just said there, Trav, and I'll just look at the camera for this one. If anybody's interested in, like, doing boxing or getting out of their comfort zone, I would highly recommend it, because for me, boxing is something that I love doing, and also it helps to connect with other people. If you're in a boxing class, if you're in a group class setting at your gym, it helps you to get out of your shell. It helps you with your confidence. My confidence has skyrocketed since I've done the group sessions at the gym, and my morale's gone up as well. So you're thinking about, you know, joining a gym or getting involved in a group class, I would most definitely recommend it for sure.
And I would say the same thing as my best friend David has said. You know, get yourselves out there, give it your all, give it your best, but remember to also take your time, and remember to also, you know, learn from life's lessons, and learn about, more importantly, yourself. If you're going to join a gym, and especially like Solis community, I highly recommend them, because they give you the lessons that you need, and if they tick the check boxes, then this is definitely my kind of community that I want to be a part with, and the family. they're like your second family basically. You know, and you form connections, and you not only understand yourself, but you understand others as you go on for your life's journey.
100%, and I can really echo that, particularly the family aspect of it. Like I'm one of the coaches within Solis and the other three as well. Like it's great. I haven't properly caught up with them for a couple of weeks just because of baby and things like that, and I've missed that connection. You know, it's so important to have, and it's great that you guys are jumping on the calls now as well. So. No, I really appreciate your time today, guys. Thanks for appearing on the show.
No, thank you.
Thanks for your time, Trev.
No, always
Appreciate
a pleasure.
it. Yeah.
And thank you all for tuning in once again this week, and also a big thank you to Mind Over Matter Practice again for making the show possible. If you're down in Victor Harbour, go see them on Hindmarsh Road. All things recovery, ice baths, saunas, oxygen therapy, float tanks, you name it, they've got it. But thanks for tuning in again, legends, and I'll see you next week. Cheers.
Thanks, guys.